Blueprint, which is available right now on Amazon. Okay, so before it gets started, I'm gonna doing a live stream right now on several platforms: BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, and YouTube. Let's get started. On to the intro. So as you can see, this is going to be the ultimate business blueprint. I won't take too much of your time. Essentially, this is a way for you to start a business, any type of business you want. You've been maybe dreaming about, or maybe you've been not too sure of yourself. So here I am to inspire you to start your own business during the downturn. Right now we're in a recession, so this is the best time to start a business because you learn significant skills, especially a skill on how to run a business with less funds, less resources, and obviously people are not going to you won't be able to borrow money if that's what you need during the lean time. So if you learn those skills and you can survive, then when the time when the cycle goes up again, you'll be in a good place, especially when it starts going, because it's a cycle. It always goes up, down, up, down, up, down. Right now we're in the downturn, so when it goes up a little bit, you'll be prepared, and it goes down eventually again. Okay, so I started my business, a little background about me. I started my business in 2009. Actually, I'd been a chemist for about 9 years, and I started my business. I didn't know there was a recession at the time. I was just I was looking for work, and I was wondering why. I've experienced before when I was younger. People would say, "Oh no, we can't hire you because you don't have experience." Now I'm like, I have the experience. Why am I not being hired? So when I went to job fairs, I noticed actually before I went to the job fairs, I was this was 2009. Yeah, 2009. So when I would I'm a little bit old-fashioned, where you print out your resume, then either mail it or physically go to the place. So all companies then were saying, no, you have to either fax it, or you have to email it, or you have to use our web UI to do it. So the web UIs, none of them worked. And when I tried to tell them, hey, your website is not good, because it would say like you have to have a PDF. So I would convert my document to PDF, it doesn't work. Then it's, it needs a Word, what is it called? Word, Microsoft Word file. I did that, it rejected. So when I would let them know, they would get either upset with me, or they would get really angry at me. The problem is that I was thinking, maybe they don't really want to hire someone. Anyways, the point I'm trying to say is that I said, hey, you know what? I can probably fix that. So I taught myself, self-taught. I've always known how to program, saying the web stuff, the HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I taught myself that, and that's how I started the business. And I started getting customers that way. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I actually went back to school because I needed some skills in marketing, and I had some skills which I self-taught myself, like the accounting part, but I wasn't very comfortable. So going back to school was very, very helpful in that I was able to get more comfortable, obviously doing my own taxes and bookkeeping and all that stuff. So the point I'm trying to say is that when you start, sometimes you need a little push. Like obviously my push was, I saw an opportunity, and I decided to get into it, and thankfully things did work out. But for some of you, you might think, oh no, I'd rather work for someone. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm just saying that if you ever think of starting a business, I created a guide for you, and it's called the Recession Business Blueprint. So this article is live right now on ojambo.com. Just go to ojambo.com, you go /the-recession-business-blueprint. Very simple. The link is also in the description. So essentially, most people think recessions are the worst time to start a business. That's actually not true, because I said there's always opportunities. What I mean by that is, obviously there's going to be job losses. That always happens, and then yes, some people will be hiring, but there's going to be a lot of competition. And even then, the company might not hire because there's so many people. They don't have time to go through, to to find the best candidates. What I'm trying to say. So, for example, in normal times where if there's a job, maybe 10 people would apply. During a recession, you could have 1,000 people. So they're going to be overwhelmed. Is what I'm trying to say. So even if you stand out, they might not like the fact that maybe on that day you wore a yellow sweater. you know what I mean. So that's what I'm trying to say is that take the initiative. Like falling stock prices, obviously they're going to hire more people, and certain futures. But what if instead of the period of fear and scarcity, a recession could be seen as a time of unparalleled opportunity? For example, right now, one thing I've noticed, and my customers tell me this as well, is that they're laying off a lot of people because they're banking on AI taking over. So, for example, people probably noticed this is that before, when you'd call a company or even online live chat, you'd actually talk to a human. Now that's all being replaced with AI, and the thing is, it's obviously not as good as a human, because a human can actually think for themselves, and humans actually have actual intelligence. The so-called artificial intelligence, it's not intelligence; it's just some algorithms, and when they get things wrong, obviously they're way wrong, because they don't understand. For example, as humans, we can say, okay, you have to go to school during the weekday, right? But for example, here in Canada, when there's too much snow, as a human, you could say, okay, you know what, you guys stay home, it's dangerous. You know what I mean? AI is not going to be able to understand that, oh, the snow today was too much, but yesterday was less. They won't understand those little things like that. So that's obviously intelligence. They don't have that. So, quick gist of what the book will offer you. It will explain why the recessions are more than just economic downturns. They are opportunities for innovation, investment, and growth. So, for example, right now, you see there's been a lot of investment in AI. However, if you actually look at the past, which I like history. If you actually look at the past, the companies that will actually make it haven't even been invented yet. You heard me right. The companies that will actually be at the top of the AI pyramid haven't even been started yet. So you could be you. You might come up with an idea using AI, or maybe the AI solution, which hasn't really even been invented yet, could be right there. And then that could be your financial independence. So it's another way where you can show up your financial vulnerabilities while uncovering your untapped skills, assets, networks, and hidden opportunities. So I go through that in the book as well. I'll do a quick sample of the book, or maybe a chapter or so later. So, for example, people in my mother's generation, they would have a full-time job, basically a job for life, which my mother didn't understand when I was telling her that, hey, in my generation, we don't have a job for life. We're probably going to have a few multiple jobs. Then people like my sister's generation, they're used to having, it's normal for them to have more, just switch out every couple of years, they go to another job. For me, it's kind of weird. So what I'm saying is, people my mother's generation, they always had a job, like a full-time job. Then they would, once in a while they have like a casual job, or they'll have like an agency. My mother was a nurse, but what I'm saying is that, but people today don't have that type of luxury. So even if you just do something part-time, what's that phrase? The passive income. That could eventually become your full-time job, or just something to hold you over until something better comes along. All right, so we're talking here about the lean startup. So obviously, during the recession, unless you're independently wealthy, you want something where you can start with the minimal investment and using the principle of lean operations to maximize efficiency and adaptability. So if you remember, as I was saying, like I've said this before, when I started my business, it was expected to meet the people in person. So one of the problems with that is that in a day, I'll be lucky if I could actually meet 3 customers in person, because I would either drive to them or they come to me. I have to, leave my schedule empty in order to see them. However, these days, it's common, people understand that you can meet virtually. So virtually, I can meet way more customers. I can talk to them. There's stuff like not just conference calling. I mean, for example, I can do a Google Meet. I can do Skype used to be popular then, but you get my point. There's other things. There's Telegram. There's open source solutions. So you can meet many people. You can meet more people during the day, and you can conduct business that way. So, for example, it's not just email. You can still send letters. However, more efficiently would be to contact people. For example, networking. In I guess my time, still my time, networking was physically meeting people, handshaking, and everything. But these days, you can simply just meet people through work. For example, when I'm working on a project, I might talk to one of the server technicians, and then when that server technician goes and starts their own business or something else, they remember, oh yeah, Edward is a programmer, let me ask Edward, you know what I mean? So that's how the network is now. So for example, in the last 9 years, I still talk to these people, and I've actually never actually met them in person. I mean, we've seen each other on visually on conference calls, but we never actually met. And if you see us communicate, you'd think that we're like brothers who've known each other since we were kids. I'm saying that's normal now. So do not. Those type of relations are very, very important. So I teach you how to do that as well. I give you some guides on how to contact people and network that way. So for example, even if you say maybe you start like a channel, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, it could be TikTok, etc. It doesn't matter. So those people, or whether you're the influencer, or they're influencing you. What I'm saying is that could be part of your network, right? So that helps. I remember just this year, I was helping someone, find work. I was very surprised that these days when you apply for a job, they will ask you like, where do you hang out? They want to see like your GitHub account. They want to see whether you're on TikTok, Twitter. So what I'm saying is that you do need to network. You don't necessarily need to put your face out there, but you definitely need to do some type of networking, because that'll also help you start a business. And people can also give you, for example, this year, I'll give you a perfect example of this. When I started doing the AI stuff, I didn't know what I was doing. And what I mean is I didn't know what equipment to get and everything, and I just put up one night stream, and one of my viewers helped me along. And then with that, I was able to go and buy the AMD GPU, and then with a little research, I got it. And even then, other people come and they share the information, which I share with all of you. So they're very simple networking, just like that. Very simple. Okay, and then obviously I just talked about networking, how you build a network of mentors, partners, collaborators, and strengthen your business foundation. Another good thing about having a network is you can tell how the economy is going to go way before other people. So for example, way back in 2019, I was able to correctly predict that something big is going to happen. I was a little bit off by a year. I predicted the events of, for example, what happened in 2020. I didn't expect them to close down the economy, but I predicted a massive recession, and that's basically what been since 2020. That's what's been happening. So the reason I was able to predict it was that the market was very, very hot in 2018 and 2019. I mean, people were offering me ridiculous sums, and they were just spending like. There's a term called drunken sellers. I was thinking this doesn't make any sense. For example, living in Toronto, condo prices were through the roof. I was like, yeah, this doesn't make sense. This is like overheating. And then that's exactly what happened. There was a massive correction, and it hasn't recovered yet. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you network, you can easily, people will tell you could have maybe a banker or somebody that works in real estate. You can tell when things are going to go south or going to improve. Okay, and then creative funding. So this one is something that I did learn over time, way before I started the business. So this is you have to explore unconventional funding options. For example, bootstrapping, microloans, crowdfunding to finance your venture without relying on traditional capital. So for example, especially when you're young, the bank's not going to take you seriously. they'll just reject you. Even if you have good credit, they'll just reject you. So as I said, since 2009, again, is that you have multiple ways to fund your business. One of them is crowdfunding. You guys, even influencers, they they get supported with things like what's the one called, the what's a popular one on YouTube? The Patreon. But for example, developers, they had other things where they have people fund their project, right? And maybe they take a year off, they just work on that project. A popular one was OpenShot. OpenShot was funded, I think, for a year. So, and then obviously the developer, I think his name is Jason Omf. He kept the project was already free open source. But what I'm trying to say is that there are ways you can fund your business model. Maybe you could, for example, there's one which I saw this year. I'm not going to judge. So this developer decided to make games. He's going to make all his games for free. So all the games are free, and what he's expecting, or his business model is, he's expecting to live off donations, right? So that's a business. That's a fine business. So for example, one company, Red Hat, before they were bought by IBM, they were the biggest Linux company. They were pretty big in free and open source, and obviously Red Hat was their flagship product, where they added some features, but everything, the source code, everything was free, right? So for example, Oracle, which is even a bigger company than Red Hat, would take some of that code and recompile it and call it, I think, Oracle Unbreakable Linux, other CentOS, all those type of stuff. So I'm saying that there are a lot of business opportunities out there for you, and especially for funding sources. And there's also independent, not just venture capitalists. There are people who are willing to fund private lenders. Yeah, you do have options, so don't worry about it. For example, I was surprised to find out, this is about 20 years, I was surprised to find out, like, some builders for condos and stuff, they actually use private lenders to build. So I was like, wow. So that's what I'm saying. They're always you can get funds, but I'm saying is that people will be more willing to be receptive to funding you if you have a plan, meaning that you show them you're serious about something. If you're not going to be serious, nobody's going to take you serious. Okay, and then obviously customer targeting in tough times. Now, one thing I always disliked is telemarketing, right? I always disliked it. I actually did it I did it in 2000. I actually did telemarketing very briefly before I became a chemist, and it was very different from what I thought, and I was actually surprisingly pretty good at it as well. So, but I'm not saying that you have to do telemarketing. Obviously, there's things like email marketing, but I'm saying is that when you start out, the best way is through networking. That's how you know if the business is viable or not. And obviously mastering the lean operations. So for example, I told you guys, like, when I started my business, I was doing all the bookkeeping, all the accounting, and also some of the legal stuff. I'll give you an example. So as a programmer, my first client, believe it or not, was a lawyer, and she was saying, hey, she looked at my what do you call it, my contract, and she says, no, I'm not going to sign that. And I said, why not? She said, it's because I need you to take full responsibility when the software breaks. And I told her I can't do that. And she said, why not? And I said, this is why. I'm just a programmer. I do not create the computer or the server. And I told her, for example, this is going to be, in the future, it's going to be in some type of a cloud. And I said, I don't have access. Even if you give me access, what I mean is that you have managed support. So if I tell them, hey, you need to update to PHP, say PHP 5, PHP 6, PHP 7 at this time. If they don't do it, how can I be responsible? Because I can't do that myself. And she asked me, do you want to do it? And I said, no, I can't. Because number one is, if they're using, if they, for example, if they lie to you and they give you a broken hard disk, how is that my fault? So I'm saying, like, I'm not responsible for the hardware, right? It's their hardware, it's not mine. Even if I buy you with hardware, I still can't be responsible for it because I didn't make it. I'm saying the software I make it, I'll take responsibility for that, but I'm not going to take for that. And I said with software, it's I grant you the license to do whatever you want, because I mean you can make up your own license, but I'm saying is I grant you right. And I said it's there. I was using, I think, the GPL, the General Public License, which I also did tutorials on it. You should go. I did a deep dive into it, so you can go look it up. I did, I think, up 3 licenses: MIT, the what do you call it? The public domain, and GPL, Good New Public License. So then she was pretty impressed, and then she signed my contract. So what I'm trying to say is that know what you're getting into, and so for example, there are people who call me every once in a while, and they say, "Oh, Edward, you need to sign this. You need to pay us all this money so that you need a special insurance because of the software you do." And I said, "No, that's not true." And because they take advantage of people who don't know. So there are people out there, like developers or freelancers, who pay thousands of dollars per year for useless insurance, right? So I'm saying that know your rights. Do some research. If you need help, you can hire me to consult, or just ask some few questions. I'll be able to help you even during a live stream. So I'm here to help you. So if you want to start, I said, the business, if you want to know, especially if you want to do programming stuff or licenses, I know the licenses. I know the licenses very well. So that's one of the reasons why people ask me why I don't show proprietary software. It's because proprietary software, they put restrictions. Most people ignore them. But when you have a business, you have to be extra careful because they can come after you. What I mean by that is, if you install a piece of software and then a little thing comes out, it's called a EULA, right? So that one puts restrictions on its use. You heard me right. It puts restriction on its use. So that's why I don't do that, because maybe it will say something like, probably in a hidden what do you call it, the fine print, it will say something like, if you put this on your channel, like whether it's YouTube, Rambo, BitChute, or whatever, and you make so much money, you have to share some of the money with us. You know what I mean? So as I said, I don't have time for that. I give this example where I got banned from Twitter. Yes, you remember, or whatever it's called now, X. They won't tell me why they banned me, but I suspect it's because when I was looking at terms and conditions, it's probably because they think I stole some of this content, which I didn't, and I'll explain to you why. So when I upgraded my workstation, I took some photos, and some photos didn't come out very well, so I wanted better photos. So what I did is I went to the manufacturer's website, I downloaded the media kit. It actually says media kit. In fact, even in the video, right, I actually show that page which said media kit. I said, this is where I got the photos from. But the Twitter X, whatever, they still banned me, saying that I guess I copied the content, which is preposterous, right? So that's why I'm saying, that's why I don't like to show proprietary stuff. That's one of the reasons, especially software. That's why you don't see me using proprietary software. It's not because I'm going to be negative. I'm a developer. I know how hard it is to write code, so I try to be as fair as possible. So if they say a feature is working and doesn't work, I show all of you, and I don't say, oh, it is bad or whatever. No, I said I know it could be, it could be a bug. So then I'll try to follow a bug, or I'll let them know. Okay, so that's basically it. So obviously some people are going to have obstacles. There are many obstacles. You might be busy, you might be tired, you may not have time. So and of course during a recession is the worst time, because there's a lot of negative information. I'll tell you one of the things which I'll tell you something which I actually learned from a young person. So one of my customers, him and I talk almost every day. So he told me something interesting during the pandemic. He told me that his daughter was tired of, his daughter is much younger than me. He said his daughter got sick of the negative negative news, so she just tuned out. So I tried, and actually when I was actually looking for land to move out of from Toronto, I forgot several times. I forgot to take music with me. So when you go to rural area, you don't get signal, you don't get FM radio, AM radio. It's just nothing. So it's just static, is what I'm trying to say. I found that very peaceful, right? And then since that time, I don't even listen to the radio anymore. I just switch it off. It's just it's just people arguing and just trying to make you angry. So I just switch it off. The point I'm trying to say is that helped me clear my mind. So what I mean is that when I was living in the city, if you ever took me out, say, to a rural area, all I would see is nothing. Maybe grass or maybe some cows. I would just see nothing. Now, what I see peacefulness, right? For example, one thing I've noticed, I tell people this is, when I go to Toronto, when I reach Oshawa, for example, I just start getting antsy because there's traffic. I mean, the lanes, you get more lanes, you get like 5 lanes, but then you just start getting antsy, and then by the time I reach Toronto, it's 10 lanes, and it's just slow, right? But that's not the problem. I just feel people are just in a rush to get nowhere. Here, for example, I can jump into the car at any time, literally any time. What they consider traffic here is I don't want to say it's a joke. I'm just saying it's nothing. It's just so peaceful. And at first, when I was traveling to the rural areas, I used to get a little bit cautious because in Toronto, I said I'm so used to so many lanes. Here, you could be on a highway, it's only one lane, one way, right? So that's happened. Like when there's a bridge, you have to stop, and there are people, so it's like, this is a highway, or there's a dirt highway. That kind of shocked me. But the point is that you after a while you get used to it, and then it's like, it actually makes sense. Why would you build 10 lanes? Yes, the land is there, but it doesn't make any sense. Nobody's ever going to use that, and it's peaceful. I'm saying that's one thing I do like about it. So sometimes what I'm saying is that it's the mentality, right? It's when I started my business, I used to watch a guy on YouTube. I still can't find him. He was he was kind of like a motivation speaker. He would say, start your business. That's all he would say. If you guys know his name, please let me know. He would just say, start the business. He said, why didn't you start the business? That's all he says. You start the business. That's it. So don't think about starting this. He goes, just start the business. He goes, yes, you might fail, but before he finished, I already knew what he was going to say, and he was absolutely right. So basically, I'm just paraphrasing. So what he was saying is that if you start a business and it fails, right, that's actually a good thing. You're like, what? That's actually a good thing, because you learned what doesn't work. So next time you start the business, when you do your next business, you're not going to do the things that fail. So what most people think, I used to think this way too, is that if you start a business, it must be 100% successful, right? And then if it fails, you're like, oh no, I'm done, I'll never do it again. No. You fail, you get up again, and then you start another business. Or maybe you do the same business, you do something different. Don't do the same thing over and over again, right? Obviously, learn from the mistakes. What's going to happen is that when you finally land a successful business, you know what works and what doesn't work, right? So some people are very lucky, they start a business, their first business is extremely successful. That's good for them, but I'm saying that what those people don't know is failure. They don't know how to handle failure. So if you learn how to handle failure, that's perfect. That's why I'm saying this recession is also the perfect time to start a business, because you can fail. Remember, you can fail as many times as possible, just get up again. The reason is you're starting in lean times. I'm not telling you, like, for example, if you own a house, you sell your house and just blow, put it all on, as I said, put it all on black. No, don't bet it all in one place. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. I'm saying lean, be lean. So that way you can, if it fails, no problem. Do it again. You have multiple times to try again. Okay, so where can you get your copy of the Recession Blueprint? Obviously, it's on Amazon. The link is also in the description. you have two options. You can get the paperback versions, or you can get the ebook version. So I got you covered, right? So some people prefer ebook, some people prefer the physical copy. So there you go. So I as you can see, this is just the banner here. You can get it on Amazon. So it's available worldwide wherever you can get Amazon. So for example, if you click the link here, just click one of the links. You see it goes to Amazon here. Now it detects if because I'm in Canada, so I can get it in the Canada shop or the American shop. So if you click that link, you'll detect what country you're in, and then you can pick it up. Or you can go to Amazon, just search for Edo Jumbo. I also have a book page. You can pick it up that way as well. So there you go. That's the book. And I said there's also an ebook. I'm going to stay on the US one, but I said you can go to the Canadian one as well. I'll dismiss this for now. Yeah. So, did it go to the Canada one? Oh, it looks like it's Canadian pricing. Okay, so I guess it found out I'm in Canada and it's giving me the Canadian pricing. So yeah, as I said, you can see this is the paperback version. I said there's also the ebook version. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can get it for free. Is it free? I believe. Yeah, for limited time. For 30 days unless I renew it. Yeah, you can get it for free if you have Kindle. So there you go. You can pick it up there as well. And you see, it just came out not too long ago. This November 25th. That's the paperback version. I said there's also the ebook version. So there's 143 pages, as you can see right here. I'll show you a sample. You can also go read the sample if you wish, but we're going to do that soon. And this is the live stream. So we're doing this live right now. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this here so we can talk about that in a second. So as you can see, I created the book myself here. This is proof. You see, I even have the cover images, and obviously the PDF, the one I put it up there on Amazon, and there's an ebook one. I'll show you the ebook one in a second. We can read a few. Obviously. If you have a reader like the Kindle, it will show up there on these days. For example, software, you can read it on your phone or your tablet, your computer. As I'll show you here, I'm using Calibre, which is a very popular open source. It's actually an ebook reader, but you can also use it to edit ebooks. I was using it to create all my ebooks before. But now I just use LibreOffice, and I just I export as a PDF, and I also export as a EPUB version 2. Okay, so you can see here I created all of this. All right, so now I said I'll come back to this. So I want to show you some of the stuff I did here. As you guys know, I use Blender for all my video editing. So what I did was, and I decided to use Python. So I'll show you some of the things I did, just a fun little thing. So I did some page turn stuff here. I also used some I wasn't able to use FFmpeg. I couldn't get the filters to work, including Image Magic, but I was able to use some interesting things here. And I also found out something which I'll talk about in a future as well. So I even tried, there's a lot of fun things I did here. I don't know if I can show you this one. I also created what did I do here? I also created a GLB file. Where is it? Did I delete it? It should be a GLB file. Yeah, right here, GLB page turn. But this didn't come out the way I wanted. It kind of flipped the pages over. It's probably a setting thing. I don't know how to fix that, so I'm not going to bother. I also created is it this one here? VPN VP9. I think this is the one. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So I was just testing to see. Yeah, so there you go. It's a transparent one. So the problem I realized was when I use PNG files, you notice how there's the color didn't come out the way I wanted. So where is this one here? Yeah, this one is actually correct. Yeah, there we go. But the color still didn't come out very well, even though I put lights and everything. So what I did was, for example, if you notice, this is the back of the back cover here. So if you notice, the colors were a little bit washed out. I didn't understand why. It was only when I there was something wrong with Blender 5.0. So what I had to do was I was experimenting. Then I already deleted them. But you see, when I used when I exported as EXR, I was shocked. Look at the color difference. You see this one? It's nice, really nice here. Let me. Can I make this smaller? See if I can make it smaller. Perfect, right there. So then I just exported them here. You can see them. So you should see the animation if I click this. Yeah, so you see it came out, the white is more white and the black is more black. That was pretty, that's what I wanted. So then what I did is I took that and I created a page turn. Where did I put it? Oh, so you guys will see that later. It's coming up pretty soon. I thought I'd put it. Oh yeah, it's in my videos folder. Sorry. Let me show you that very quickly. Let's go to videos. It should be books here. Something books promo. Yeah. So you guys, this is what do you call it? Debut. So let's play this. Are you struggling to build a business in tough economic times? Let me see if I can. How do I resize this? No. Okay, let me see if I can. Why can't I resize this? Oh, jeez. Come on, go smaller, go smaller, go smaller, go smaller, go smaller. Okay, is it gonna stop? Come on, stop. Come on, stop. It's just getting smaller and smaller. Okay, let's hit wait. Okay, I think I should press the space bar. Let's see if I can move. Okay, here we go. Put it all the way back here. Okay, I'm gonna hit. Are you struggling to build a business in tough economic times? The recession doesn't have to mean the end of your dreams. The Recession Business Blueprint is here to help. Recessions bring uncertainty, fear, and financial struggles. Whether it's a layoff, portfolio dip, or stagnant wages, it feels like there's no way forward. But what if you could turn this fear into opportunity? The Recession Business Blueprint shows you how to build a recession-proof business and thrive through tough times. Learn how to leverage your skills, identify recession-resistant industries, and build a lean business with minimal overhead. Don't wait for the economy to improve. Take action now. Get your copy of the Recession Business Blueprint and start building the future you deserve. Grab your paperback or ebook on Amazon, link in the description. Ready to recession-proof your business? Visit ojambo.com and watch the full video. Link in the description. Get your copy today and start building a resilient business that thrives no matter what the economy does. Okay, so thanks for you guys are watching the full version of the video right now because it's live. Okay, so as I promised, I'm going to show you one chapter. So I can just double click this. It should open up in Calibri. Oh, it opened up in a different. Oh no, it opened up in OnlyOffice. It opened up in OnlyOffice instead. Actually, that looks pretty nice. Not too shabby. So let me. That's not what I want. I guess I have to right click on it and go. Oh yeah, so it opened up with OnlyOffice. I still have OnlyOffice because since I got Olama working, was it yesterday or a couple of days ago? So I'll test OnlyOffice again. So Calibri, this is the one I was saying. Calibri. It's actually two applications. One which is an editor, and one which is the ebook reader. Oh, the name is exactly the same. So I open it up here. See Calibri. It's reading the metadata. You see, it's the this is the old one, the algorithmic serpent. That's also available. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'll put it out of the way for now. So I don't know, I didn't pick up the cover page as well. It should have picked up the cover page as well, but that's fine. So what you do is obviously this one you can also edit the book as well. So I'll just double click on it. I think it should, yeah, there we go. So it opens up the reader. This is what the reader looks like. I don't know why it's a weird color. Yeah, I don't know why it's this weird color. Normally it's like a dark, but I guess that's fine. There we go. So that's page 2. Just scroll down, and there we go. As you guys saw that the font was perfectly fine in only Office. Obviously in LibreOffice, I don't know why that font was messed up there. But yeah, so this is if you have like a software type reader, this is what it actually. Oops, I missed something. And the book is as much yours as mine. There we go. I don't know why this is. Oh, you know what? I think it's because I zoomed in. I must have zoomed in. In the past. Let me see if Control-0 works. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it was zoomed in. I think when I was testing way back. So we can go back. The first page should also. There we go. Now it's fine. There we go. So it's because I zoomed in. I just typed Control-0 and it was fine. Okay, so as you can see here, the acknowledgements and chapter 1. So by the way, today was like -16, so but it was very sunny today, so outside, so it was very cold, but I actually prefer that to the +7, -7 temperatures. So right now that's why you hear I hopefully it's not too loud. All right, so I'm gonna read part of chapter 1. Chapter 1, the paradigm shift, recessions as opportunity. So 1, rethinking recession fear. For decades, recessions have carried a near universal reputation: fear, scarcity, and survival. Headlines scream job losses, plummeting markets, and economic uncertainty. Conversations at work, school, or the dinner table echo a common mantra: wait it out, don't take risks, stick to what's safe. This narrative has been internalized across generations. Gen Z feels trapped by student debt and unstable job markets. Millennials wrestle with stagnant wages and precarious employment. Mid-career professionals worry about layoffs and erosion of retirement savings. Late career adults watch their nest eggs fluctuate unpredictably, often questioning decades of careful planning. Yet this conventional view is incomplete. While recessions do create challenges, they also present unique opportunities invisible to those bound by conventional wisdom. A different lens. Think of a recession like a forest fire. Destructive, yes, but it also clears underbush, recycles nutrients, and creates space for new growth. The same principle applies to economies. Inefficient businesses flutter, leaving gaps in the market. Consumers become selective, prioritizing essential services. Risk-averse competitors retreat, reducing competition. Those willing to act differently, to spot opportunities, experiment, and adapt, often emerge stronger and more resilient. 2. The contrarian principle. At its core, this book is about contrarian opportunity. Where others see danger, you learn to see potential. Acting contrarily is about reckless optimism, but calculated strategic action informed by data, self-awareness, and a willingness to pivot. Contrarian thinking involves 3 key principles. Spot opportunities in adversity. Identify sectors, services, or niches that thrive during economic stress. Act decisively, move before fear paralyzes you, using lean, low barrier to entry methods. Leverage resilience, build skills, networks, and systems that withstand downturns. The mini case study, the freelancer who sold gold in a downturn. Consider Alex, not me, a 27-year-old digital marketeer. During the 2008 recession, many agencies downsized their teams. Companies slashed marketing budgets. Alex noticed small businesses still needed online presence to survive. Instead of waiting for stability, Alex offered lean impact services at lower cost, helping small businesses manage social media themselves while still achieving results. Within 6 months, he had 5 steady clients, each paying a fraction of what they would have spent on a traditional agency. By 2010, Alex had built a fully remote consulting business that thrived even as competitors struggled. Lesson: recessions are not purely destructive, they are selective. Opportunities exist for those who reframe the landscape. 3. Understanding the psychological barrier. Why do so many people freeze in recessions? It's rarely a lack of ideas, it's fear amplified by societal messaging. Key psychological barriers include loss aversion. The fear of losing money or security outweighs potential gains. Status quo bias, preference for doing nothing because change feels riskier. Herd mentality, assuming that if everyone else is scared, the situation must be dire. Exercise, identify your fears. Take a few minutes to reflect. What specific recession fears keep you from starting something new? Losing savings, social judgment, failure. What fears are fact-based versus emotional-based? For each emotional-based fear, write one simple, concrete action that you take to reduce it. Here's an example. Remember I said there's going to be lots of tables in this book, this guide. For example, I might lose my savings. That's emotion-based. Start MVP with less than 10% personal capital. Track expenses weekly. I'll be judged if I fail. That's emotional-based. Find a mentor or peer accountability group. This exercise begins with a mental shift from paralysis to action, a critical first step in building a recession-proof venture. So, as I also led on earlier today, is that there are a lot of tables, a lot of exercises. For example, it shows you how to budget the tables. Most tables will have less than, there'll be 4 columns, I believe, is the biggest table. So they're very simple things like this, which you can go try yourself. Now this table, I said the reason is because I like to zoom in. It just makes it easier to read, but obviously you can use the any size one. So I'm just going to zoom through this very quickly. So as you can see, here's another one here. Social media for local cafes, online math tutoring, virtual bookkeeping. So here are some opportunities you might want to take. And I said, remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I lied. This one has that 5 columns, but I think this is probably the biggest table out. I mean, the most columns. Most columns are, I said, they're going to be about 3 or 4. And as you can see here, during the 2020 COVID recession, many traditional retail businesses closed or downsized. That's happening right now. That's how I told you we are in a recession. Here's proof. Food delivery, logistics, and digital education grew quickly. Remember, as I said before, freelancers offering essential services like online marketing for e-commerce or virtual tutoring saw new client demand. Actually, even me, during that time, since that time, the vast majority of the business is actually from tutoring. So it just caught me by surprise because I was actually thinking before 2019. I was thinking of actually shutting down my tutoring business. A good thing I did, because that's how I've been making probably 90% of my income comes from virtual tutoring. So that's how you are. So there you go. And I said there's a lot of chapters in here. There are a lot of lessons, and I just gave you a little snippet, but so you can go pick it up. It's available right now, as you saw on Amazon. There you go. And you can use your favorite e-reader if you do pick it up. As I said, this one is obviously you can zoom in. See, you can zoom in. I don't know why you want to do that, or you can zoom right out. So that's all up to you. I don't know why this is like this. I think this is a bug in this software. Because if I get rid of this, And yeah, so this is called Calibre. It's open source. It's cross-platform. It's also used to edit. You can also edit ebooks as well. So, for example, you see here the author. You picked up the author, the date. Obviously, the date I was added here, but it does pick up some more. I might have forgotten to put some extra information here when I exported it, but I believe so. There we go. Yeah. So. So where was I here again? So this is the PDF. So I didn't realize the OpenOffice can read, so you can read it in so if let's take a look at OpenOffice again. It opens up first, so I'm gonna put it here. This is what it looks like in OpenOffice. You can see the obviously this came out properly, and there's also dedication there, contents, acknowledgements. And there we go again. But that doesn't look as nice as well. What is wrong with the font? Wish it come out as the way I want. Does it? Let's check. Oh, that's because ebooks don't have. You have to make up your own little. So that's a problem. So that's why you would use Calibre to add the table of contents. So if I want a table of contents, I can open up the PDF version here. Yeah. So this one is here. So let me see. I will zoom to the. There we go. So this is the one here, the PDF version. See the table of contents. So the first chapter is about the paradigm shift, recessions as an opportunity. Okay, there we go. Oh, I didn't realize it does that. I'm a non-desktop, by the way. I didn't realize it does that. So you can see it goes all there. We read, I think, the first 2 pages. As I said, there's 10 chapters. There we go. Chapter 10, building the recession-proof fortress, continual evolution and growth, and that's it. So it's so it's all there for you, and yeah. So as you can see, there's where the actual meat of the book is 129 pages. The other stuff is just, like the table of contents and stuff, but you can see. So you do actually get, well, if you take away the author here, you do get at least 127 pages of real content, as I just read to you. So there's a lot of that there, and the tables are fine. So yeah, there we go. So hope you like it. You can pick it up. It's available right now on Amazon worldwide, wherever Amazon is, and you can start your business. If you have any questions about starting businesses, I can help you as well. For example, actually the funny thing is, when I started my business, I wrote my business plan, and the business my idea was, because I'm a programmer. Let's say somebody wants to start a website, or they want to start an e-commerce business. They will come to me. I would obviously do the website, but before that, if they need to maybe get some funds, I would help them in that. I would help them write the business plan, because who is going to do the programming? Who knows how much it costs to all that stuff? It would be me. So I thought it was a great idea, but that was actually profitable. It was profitable almost right from the beginning. And then what happened is people got confused because of one person who I dislike. His name is Adam Smith. If you don't know who Adam Smith is, he's considered the godfather or the grandfather of the economic system we still have today. Basically, his idea was a job or something. Let's say a task should be broken down into something that can be repetitive and now become somebody's job. So meaning that if you work in a factory, instead of somebody, for example, let's say a car factory, instead of, for example, putting a car together by themselves, you break down each into simple steps. For example, one would be somebody just does the painting, another person puts on the tires, another person inflates the tires. That was his, his concept or his ideas. The problem with that is it probably worked back then when there were so many jobs. The problem is it doesn't work, and hasn't worked, honestly, let's be honest, for about 20 years, and I'll explain to you why. So think of a restaurant. So it's a restaurant, doesn't matter the size. And let's say you make a burger. The burger is pretty simple. You take some buns. Let's say they're baked, just to keep it simple. So then, you have to flip. Somebody has to flip the burger. Somebody has to cut the onions. Somebody has to cut the tomatoes. Right now, According to Adam Smith, one person's job should just be to cut onions. Another person's job will be just to cut tomatoes. Another person's job will be just to flip burgers. Another person's job will be to put the burger or open the bun. Another person's job will be to take the burger, put it on the bun. Another person's job will be to serve it to you. You see my point? That doesn't make any sense. And you guys obviously see that. It's like, that made sense over 100 years ago, but doesn't make sense today, because here's the thing. Most likely people are going to be working at a burger joint are probably going to be students. So maybe one student has an exam and they're off that day. So are you going to shut down your business because, oh my goodness, the onion cutter is not here today? Of course not, right? You're going to clearly, the person who cuts the tomatoes can clearly also cut the onions. Wow, I know. Adam Smith never thought of that, but that's the type of stuff I say. Another thing is, think about it. If you cut tomatoes all day, or onions, you're going to get sick of that job. You're going to get bored. You know what I mean? You're probably going to make mistakes. However, if you could rotate, right? Today you cut onions. Tomorrow you're going to cut tomatoes. The other time you're going to flip burgers. You see my point? And maybe serve. So the point is that you don't do the mundane, right? You at least have something different to do. We're humans. We're not robots, right? We're not so-called artificial intelligence like the bots who just do the same thing over and over again. We're people. We have feelings. So my point is that it's the same thing like starting a business. You know, you're being taught or basically being brainwashed. So you need to, you need to let go of that type of thinking, and you have to think of the new way. If you don't, if you're lucky, you have a job for life. Great for you, but I'm saying for the vast majority of us, we don't. So we need to adapt. Otherwise, we're going to be so far left behind. For example, I'm an old guy. I don't want to retire because I still think I still have more to offer, and I like learning. So people will say, oh, you're an old guy, we're not going to hire you, even though I have lots of experience. You guys see, I have shown you what I do here all the time. It's that experience can be used. And I said, like, I'm offering it to you guys, not just from the book here, but I'm saying is that if you need a little bit of mentorship or you need some advice, I'll be more than willing to help you guys. Because when I started my business, it's very hard because like everything people were saying was completely wrong. They were telling me, no, you can't start a business then. Or for example, I always tell people this. They were telling me that nobody was going to take me seriously because I didn't offer Flash. Remember Adobe Flash? People were saying, no, if you're not going to make people's websites in Adobe Flash, nobody's going to take you seriously. I did. And I told people I'm not. In fact, one of my first customers, I actually argued with him and said, no, I told him Flash is out of the way. You know, to this very day, him and him, when we get together, whether it's on the phone or we meet in person, we laugh at that. Because he always thanks me because, oh my goodness, Edward, he said I was going to blow so much money on recreating my website in Flash, again, because his website was Flash. I helped him and moved it to HTML5, and I had to work through some niggly things because although people were pushing HTML5, it wasn't quite ready yet. Obviously, this is much easier. alanhindo.com. I don't know if it's up. Let's actually go see if his website is up here. alanhindo.com photography. This site hasn't. Okay, so it looks like it's down. I have to tell him. But yeah, when he actually has it up, it hasn't been updated in a while. But the point is that I created that in 2009. Right? Remember I told you guys? No, sorry, not 2009. It was 2011 or 12, one of those. So I converted Flash to HTML5, and the site is still looks pretty. Actually, if you go to what's that place called? Let me actually open up in Chromium because in case it doesn't come up, I'll show you. This was one of my sites I did long time ago. Oops, I forgot here. So if you go back to the Wayback Machine, I'll show you this one here. Wayback Machine. This is, you can look at sites from the past. So Wayback Machine. So if we go alanhindo.com. Yeah, so looks like they took some snapshots. I'll take one of the snaps. Any of them are fine. So basically, yeah, here, I guess you see 2003, all these ones. This is basically what I did. Did I click? Oh, I have to click on. Let's pick this one here. Okay, it's still the database thing. Wow. Oh, he was on vacation. He took a break for a while. I guess I told him to take care of this. I don't know why he didn't. Come on. That's not good. He does something else now. He doesn't do the photography. I guess he doesn't take care of his site. But oh, I do have a local version as well. I don't know if they work because I have PHP 8.4. Let's see if it picks up something. Yeah, here we go. So here's the site. This is from 2024. So you see, this was a Flash thing. Yeah, it comes up. There we go. Yeah, so there you go. So this was done in Flash. I fixed things up, and it's made it way better. You see, it's a photography site. You see all these little things. I did this way back. Yeah, so like what, 12, 13 years ago. I did all this. Right. So I converted it from Flash into HTML5, and people were saying, "Oh no, you can't do Flash." So there you go. That's proof right there. And I said I did this long time ago. This was one of my, and then we also created a mobile version. So my mobile version was I just took this and I shrunk it down. He didn't like that, so there's a specific mobile version. You can go check it out. It just took smaller images. Obviously, it's a little bit dated now because fonts are so much bigger now than they were. So obviously, you could probably get away with something like this, just the way it looks on a mobile. But there you go, very nice. Yeah, I think I used jQuery for this. Because I was still learning. I wasn't too comfortable in JavaScript. Nowadays, I'll do this in JavaScript because JavaScript is capable now. All the bugs have been worked out. The math, there used to be math bugs where things wouldn't be centered properly. It'll be half a pixel thing. So those have been fixed. So that's it. So and you see, this is the type of stuff I did. I can still do this type of work, and so I'll show you some of the work I do right now. What is it? Mellowwalk.com. Here's another website that I do maintain. I don't know why the font is so weird. The font is way too big here. Control 0. Yeah, they must have fixed this themselves. I don't know what is wrong with the font. Maybe I don't have this font. This is not the correct font. It's a much better looking site than this. I don't know why it's like that. Let's go to vikingsandals.com. Yeah, so they must have changed that themselves. Yeah. So it's supposed to have this type of font. Even this one is off too. I don't know what happened. I think I might not have the font. I might not have the font because I said I had a crush. So I don't know. I think it's a Roboto font or one of those fonts. I can't remember. Yeah. Anyways, it's much prettier than this. You guys can go check it out yourself. So I added. I don't know if they still have this. Something I added myself. Where to buy? Here we go. Yeah, here we go. I added all this. There used to be a map. I think if you click on your location, there used to be a map. I don't know if that's still there. Oh no, the map was removed. I remember because Google, Google changed the map API. So I would have to. I can't simply update the code. I have to basically redo it from scratch. So we decided to take the map up. But if you go again to the Wayback Machine, you can see what the map used to look like. So I also came up with an algorithm where you see, for example, this place in Barhead. You see it has a postal code here. So what I'll do is I'll take the postal code and connect to the get the location, and then I could map it on the map. And for example, I would have a radius of say 5 kilometers or 20 kilometers. So I did all that. I found an algorithm and I just tweaked it to be able to do that myself. So I'm saying those are types. So I'm saying I came a very long way. Is what I'm trying to say. So I self-taught. Everything was self-taught. The MySQL, PHP, JavaScript, HTML, CSS. I self-taught myself all of this. And one thing I'm very proud of at all these sites is, for example, if we go to the shop, it doesn't matter, women's, whatever. So for example, this one, you see these color swatches. I did that myself. And then here you see when you pick the the sizes US and EU. And then there's also the reviews here. So I did this myself as well. So yeah, so for example, if you want to, you can load more verified. But yeah, so if I click write review, you see here. Yeah, I did this all myself. This has been a while now. I think I did this in 2013 or so, 2013 or 2014. Very happy with the way it came out, including the cart page. Oh yeah, and also the shopping. It's a custom CMS cart, so I did that myself as well. It's integrated with. There's also a chat. This is simple. This was just a JavaScript just added here. But what I did was PayPal and Stripe, and there's a BitPay, and what's the other one? Square. Yeah, I did all that. So because when they started selling masks, PayPal basically told them to take a hike. So I had to integrate Square, and then I told them about Stripe because another customer of mine uses Stripe. So then I implemented the Stripe. Very happy with this side as well. Now it's just in maintenance. So there's also here as well. So like I'm saying is I've gotten obviously much better, and I still have stuff to do. So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't give up. You could eventually. Some people think programming is very hard, and I always tell them start small. I started very small. For example, some of the stuff that I did is pretty. You know what? Here, let's go back to Wayback Machine. I'll show you what this site used to look like. Ojambo.com. Way back. There's actually on YouTube. There's actually on my other channel, my business channel, jamboservices.com. You can go and see. Actually, even on jamboshop.com, there's what do you call it? There's yeah, there's some themes from way back then. So they look really ugly today, but I'm saying that I was still learning. So for example, you can see, if we go and see what this site used to look like, jambo.com, if we go back and see what it looked like, let's go back here, like 2010. You can see what it used to look like back then in 2010. So here we go, on August 3, 2010. This was not even about a year-ish, maybe when I started the business. So this is what it used to look like. This is actually not too bad. You see, when I was embedding videos, it was still Flash. So I was one of the first people to, as soon as Google had the iframe and moving away from Flash, I was able to do that. So, and here we go. I'm sure you guys can recognize this. Yeah, so this is what it used to look like. It stayed like this for a very long time. However, the reason I did it like this was because I didn't want to use media queries, so it would automatically drop if you made the screen smaller. So this is what it used to look like. You see, I even had the Google search here. That actually stayed for a very long time. I think I just removed it last year when I did a small update to just get rid of that. So there we go. And let's actually, you know what's actually funnier? If we actually go and show you what jamboshop.com used to look like. Yeah, so let's see what jamboshop.com used to look like. I'm just showing you how, I'm obviously much better. I should update some of this. For example, this, yeah, so this is what this one is recent. I don't want the recent one. Let me see if I can go to, that's what it looks like now. Yeah, so can I go back? I want to pick an old one. Okay, let's know what I want. I want to, 97 captures. Let me see. I want to go to an early one when it was, so if we go back to say, you see, jamboshop.com has been around for, so let's go when it was Zencart. Let's go to 2011 when it was Zencart. Here we go. When it was a Zencart store. Yeah, so this is what it used to look like as well. You see the green color and the same thing as well. You can see that. Right? And oh, look at that. Wow. I used to think that was so cool. Right? So that's what I'm saying. So you see what happens. You get better at it. You just, I used to sell themes as well. And surprisingly, I didn't sell any themes, but this enticed people to contact me. So I'm saying that I got way better. I got way better. Even if you have like a Zen card, I've actually updated so many Zen card stores as well. So I create WordPress, Zen card, and Joomla. I'm just showing you that. Am I embarrassed that I did that? Not really, because it was, for its time, it was really cool. Because I don't know if it's showing up here. It's not, but what I also did was I put a little text shadow, so it actually looked much better than this. So that's it. So I'm just showing you all this is that, you know, for example, if you look at what Zencard used to look like at that time in, what is this, 2011, and you compare it to, say, my site, then yeah, it's way better, way better. Yeah, so I can't even remember how I created this. I think I must have used a Windows program or something. No, yeah, because I wrote this before I started the business. I must have done this in some Windows. A Windows program. I think it's called like 3D Creator or something. That's where I got that from. And then I used some GIMP to. I can't even see it. It's hurting my eyes. Anyway, that's so I'm just telling you that you can start your business anytime, and you can pick it up there. The Recession Business Blueprint is available right now on Amazon, and you can pick it up anytime, both ebook and a paperback version. Okay, so that's it. If you want to know how I created this book, obviously I used Blender, as I showed you, to create the animation, and for the paperback, I'll show you the cover. Let me get rid of this. So this is the cover here. So this is the cover. How did I create this? I created this using Inkscape. So I created this in Inkscape. The reason I like Inkscape is because you can easily stretch things if you need to, and then you can resize. Instead of just resizing by putting 20 pixels, 15 pixels, whatever, you can just resize proportionally, or you can stretch it. I don't stretch it, just proportionally, and you can make it look the way you want. Now, some people say you should use what's the name of the application? The not Calibri. It's what's the name of the desktop publishing one. Oh, what is the name of that desktop publisher? I can't believe. Scribus. People say to use Scribus. I find that for things like this, I prefer to this in Inkscape. It's pretty easy. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Scribus or anything like that. I'm just saying that now Scribus would be nice if you're trying to lay things. But I'm saying that, for example, I just use LibreOffice, or now it looks like I can also use OnlyOffice. I just prefer that way because I can write my content, just write. That means I don't like distractions. For example, if I make a mistake, then I have to go and physically put these things there. So I'm okay because you can just put the margins and see how the content fits onto the other page. So I'm okay with this. So I create this in as an Inkscape. I like the way it turned out. The only thing is I'm still learning. And obviously what I like to do is become more self-sufficient, in that with the AI I can generate maybe part of the cover, and then the obviously the text. This was a pain. Oh my goodness, this was such a pain. I will explain more in a future tutorial, but trying to get I was trying to fit this onto a book, and the AI, it's hard coded to remove the text and then add its own, but it always messes up the text. Even to this very day, no AI does text well, or it will just ignore your prompt. If you say leave my text, just bend this, it will not. It will try to remove your text no matter what you do. So that's really annoying. So I think what we might have to do in the future as a workaround is probably get your image like this and then put it onto the book cover, and then add your text that way, or model the book in Blender like I did, and then you can use a UV texture and put it that way. That seems to be probably the best way going forward for now, until the AI works properly. So there we go. So hopefully, I think this has been long enough. So again, if you want to pick this up, I don't know why I closed that. I should have left that open. This is the front here. Okay, this is the front. I think I can just leave the front there. Yeah, the front is fine. Yeah, the front by itself. See, there we go. So you can pick this up, as I said, on Amazon. It's available right now, the Recession Business Blueprint. So whether you have zero or minimal cash, you can launch your business. I did. I had no money. In fact, when I got laid off, I was being a chemist, and when I got laid off, I got because I hadn't been on vacation for 2 years, so they paid that and they paid the severance package, but it all went to taxes. You heard me right? Because it's such a big. I got laid off early. I think it was in March. I got laid off in March. So they paid, I'd been there, as I said, for 9 years. I think they paid 2 weeks for every year I'd been there. Then they paid my vacation. I think I was owed maybe a bonus. So they paid all that. So the thing was, he goes, oh my God, you got a nice bonus. But I'm saying is that it all went to taxes. And then, so yeah, it wasn't a good time for me. So when I started the business, I literally didn't have, fun. So I'm saying is I was able to use what I had, my computer. In fact, I didn't upgrade the computer until 2011 when I was making some money, and a customer helped me with that as well. Paid for it, so paid part of it, and then so that's it. So yeah, no problem at all. All right. So one more time, the Recession Blueprint is available on Amazon. The link is in the description. If you want to know more about me, I always have a blog on any article I write on ojambo.com. So I'm an author, obviously. I write books now. I'm a software engineer, a freelance programmer. So you can read more about me here. My book page on Amazon. If you need support, ojamboservices.com. If a consultation, if you need. And then I also have some courses on ojamboshop.com. So if you want to leave a comment, feel free to leave it in the live chat, or you can leave a comment. For example, this comment section for this article is going to be up, I think, usually about 10-15 days. You can put something there. The best way to contact me is on the contact forms, ojambo.com/contact, ojamboshop.com/contact. If you want to follow me, I have the channels Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube. Okay, so I think that's it. If you guys want me to read another part of the chapter or something from the book, let me know. I'll be happy to do that in another live stream, or a pre-recorded one if you prefer that. Okay guys, one more time, go to Amazon and search for Edward Ojambo. For example, just search for Edward Ojambo there, or just click on the links in the description. You can see all my books here. And you see, as I said before, the Recession Business Blueprint, it's available right now, paperback and ebook version. So this one obviously is in Canada, but I'm saying that it's worldwide wherever Amazon is. So just click on one of them. It doesn't matter. I can click on ebook version. As I say, you can get ebook if you have Kindle Unlimited. You can get it for free, and then you can also read a sample here if you wish. That's all up to you. There we go. Alright guys, I'm going to stop this and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for now. Be sure to pick up the Recession Blueprint and let me know what you think. If there's something you think I missed, let me know. I'll be happy to do another session like this and explain myself, or maybe I can tweak the book if I made a mistake. I don't think I did because it took me a while to write it. So, okay guys. Thank you. Be sure to pick up a copy of either the ebook version or the paperback version. So I do have you covered there. Or whatever you want. All right. Before I go, I'm going to check the live streams. I'm going to check BitChute. I have one from somebody called Joe Blow who's talks about Bitcoins. Okay, thanks for that. Oh, you know what? Some people actually, I was one of the people when Bitcoin was actually, getting popular. I was there. I didn't invest in it because I was focused on my business. I don't think I made a mistake not to invest in it, but I'm saying if a lot of young people are investing into Bitcoin for the future, so yeah, that's a viable, that could be a viable business. Okay, let me go to Rumble. There's no chat in Rumble. Let me go to Odyssey. There's nothing there. In YouTube, surprisingly, there's nothing in YouTube. I don't know why. Welcome to. Okay, so yeah. By the way, the problem with YouTube was resolved, so you can start chatting again in YouTube. I know I told you guys to stop because there was an issue. Yeah, there was a bug where every time I would go to the YouTube when I wasn't able to actually even do a live stream, but looks like they resolved it. So you can start posting in the live chat again. Don't be shy. Okay, guys. Bye now.